What's going on, motivators? We got another video. We got to talk about director James Comey. I think they got him on this one. Let's get into it.
For a second time, Justice correspondent David Spunt's got the story. He's here in Washington. Hey, David, they're going to go at it again.
John, they're going at it again, not even a year after they went at it after the first time. We're told this via several law enforcement sources. We're told this is related to an Instagram post from the former FBI director last year when he posted on the beach. You may remember there was a formation of shells that said 8647 that were in that pairing of 8647, and he said something along the lines of, "Isn't this a curious formation that I just found while walking on the beach?" Well, critics to that post immediately pointed out that 86, at least in the restaurant world, means to get rid of or to kill something from a menu, 47 meaning the 47th president of the United States. So Comey did speak with the Secret Service, did speak with federal investigators. At the time he was interviewed last spring or early last summer, shortly after that happened, no charges were ever filed, but now it appears that he has been indicted today. We're working to learn more about the indictment. We're waiting to see if officials have anything to say on.
Here's my thing. Is he indicted? Is he getting charged? Is he under arrest? If he's under arrest, I think that's a win. I mean, look, he's saying cool shell formation. Look at this. Why would you say that as the FBI director if you didn't know what it meant? It doesn't make sense to me. You would just see a shell formation and you would be like, oh man, look at that. Isn't that cool? No, he knows what it was. He knew. It doesn't make sense. Why would you just say cool shell formation? Why would you say that? He must have known. And to be the FBI director and you don't know what 86 means. Wow. Wow. I mean, that's a lot to tell you don't know what 86 means as the FBI director. And it just so happened to be a 47, which is Trump. I mean, when this first came out, I know we were really getting into the entire thing, but James Comey does not make sense in the idea of saying he does not know what this is.
That you see right there, cool shell formation on my beach walk from former director James Comey. Now, you also remember that he was indicted last year as well for allegedly lying to Congress in some testimony that he gave. That was actually thrown out by a judge. A neutral third-party judge had to get involved and ruled that Lindsay Halligan, the Trump-appointed interim U.S. attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia, could not lawfully serve, was not lawfully.
They better have their T's crossed, I dotted, O's fully encompassed with O's, everything. You can't let Comey get out with another mistake, people, as far as people handling the case. This one has to be sealed tight. I've seen people get indicted for less and go to prison for less. When I was in the military, someone spoke bad of Obama on Facebook, and they got charged for that. And to now say 8647, get rid of 47, he knew what he was doing.
The U.S. Attorney, former FBI Director James Comey, has now been indicted for 2 felony counts. While many of you may read this indictment and view this matter as a simple investigation, it is the farthest thing from that. Every single investigation this FBI and our partners at the Department of Justice undertake, especially those that involve the threats to harm or hurt or even kill individuals, whether they hold public office or civilians in our country, are met with the same measure of investigative prowess and tools and personnel in partnership with the Department of Justice as anyone else. As the U.S. Attorney indicated, James Comey will be afforded every matter of due process under the United States Constitution. And as the Attorney...
I mean, that's kind of wild, though. Current FBI director is trying to take out the former FBI director. We all know Comey was corrupt. That guy was a sleazebag.
Hadn't done this, he hadn't done that, he hadn't done that.
Did you tell him that the Steele dossier had been financed by his political opponents?
No, I didn't even think I used the term Steele dossier. I just talked about additional material.
But did he have a right to know that?
That had been financed by his political opponents? I don't know the answer to that. It wasn't necessary for my goal, which was to alert him that we had this information.
Did you believe his denial?
Honestly, never thought these words would come out of my mouth, but I don't know whether the current president of the United States was with prostitutes peeing on each other in Moscow in 2013. It's possible, but I don't know.
General indicated this has been a case that's been investigated over the past 9, 10, 11 months. These cases take time. Our investigators work methodically. They are career agents, career prosecutors who work these matters. They call the balls and strikes in the field as they see fit pursuant to the facts of the case and the law. They took that information and made a presentment to a grand jury, a jury of peers in the district in which the alleged crime took place. And that grand jury spoke, and that grand jury returned a 2-count indictment against James Comey. James Comey allegedly threatened the life of the President of the United States. And as you all now know, shortly after posting that threat, he deleted that threat.
Well, and it showed that he's a scumbag too. I mean, come on. Anybody could see through this. Two things right there. Either Comey is the dumbest FBI director ever as far as understanding references, or he's lying. It's one of those two things. Either he knows what's going on or he's just dumb. And I would like to believe that he knows because he's very successful, very smart person. How could he not know that the 8647 means what it meant? It does not make sense logically. And why would you just say cool shell formation? Seriously? I understand if you had multiple shells, but they're writing a number and you said you had nothing to do with it.
Now, you may think, wait, didn't that happen already? Yes, it did, and the case was dropped because the Trump administration is incompetent. You can look that up. But this time, he is being indicted for posting a picture of seashells on the beach that spelled out in the letters 8647. And the Trump administration...
Okay. He just said Trump is dumb, but I'm pretty sure Don Lemon is the dumb one because he just says letters versus numbers. I'm pretty sure the seashells were with numbers 8647, no different from Ilhan Omar, who saw World War II and she claimed it was World War XI.
Administration, the prosecution, the government is saying that that is an attack or can be viewed as an attempt on the president's life. 86, which means get rid of or fire 47, which he is 47th president. So a photograph that he posted on social media, he said he walked up on the beach and the shells just happened to be in those numbers and he took a picture of them and put it on social.
Even Don Lemon cannot even say with a straight face because he knows, logically speaking, that 8647, which just started it, get rid of or fire 47. How could an FBI director, former, say that? How could he say that? And then claim that he had no idea what it was. Don Lemon is trying his best to spin it, and you could tell in his eyes that he is lying.
Social media, and now he's being indicted for it. When we get more to the Don Lemon Show newsroom, we'll let you know.
This time about a picture of seashells on a North Carolina beach a year ago. And this won't be the end of it. But nothing has changed with me.
But it should not be the end of it. FBI director, at one point you were one of the most powerful guys in the FBI. And you are touting that, oh man, it's nonchalant. You prosecute people for worse. Like, these people make me sick. James Comey, you know, man, stop lying. You know. There's no way you didn't know. I'm trying to make it make sense how it could be possible that he didn't know. And nothing makes sense in my head. Zero. I'm pretty sure it doesn't make sense in your heads neither. How could you just see a seashell in a formation of numbers and tout, ooh, look how pretty those things are? Just the numbers. Why? I understand 1, 2, 3. 86, 47, and nothing went through your head. Make that make sense.
I'm still innocent. I'm still not afraid. And I still believe in the independent federal judiciary. So let's go.
Here's the thing. Comey was the FBI director, and he knows what he's touting right now. It should not be done in the court of public opinion. But he is smart. He's trying to get ahead of it, right? By touting it to people, get people enraged. Look what they're trying to do to me, guys, in the public, when he knows this has to be investigated, right, in the courts. You're calling for the president's death. There's no difference with somebody taking a gun and doing this. He is amplifying people and doing the same thing. Instead of verbally doing it, he used numbers.
But it's really important that all of us remember this is not who we are as a country. This is not how the Department of Justice is supposed to be. And the good news is we get closer every day to restoring those values.
Like I said, he wants people to rally around him, talking about values. You were once the FBI director and you're putting yourself in a position for hatred. You hated the man so much that you were calling for stuff to happen to him. You wanted to, you took opportunity instead of briefing him. You kept secrets away from him as the FBI director. This guy, my thing is, let the law run its course. But this guy, they should definitely get him because he never operated in good faith. He was very partisan in a position that should have been bipartisan.
There's no indication, there's no evidence at this point that we're aware of that's in the public that post had anything to do with what happened on Saturday night, correct?
Correct. Boris, that post was from May of 2020, several months ago, almost a year ago.
If at first you don't succeed, try again, Donald. Eventually you'll get him. Look, we're waiting to hear, as Caitlin just noted, where this was even brought and what the charges are. Two of the likely angles that she mentioned there, if they were to try that again, whether it's the perjury issue that was tried in the Eastern District of Virginia, or if it's that photo with the 8647, if they try to bring up some kind of threat against the president, prosecution along those lines, those would be a joke. They're, the pretrial motions write themselves. A third year.
My thing is they're very quick to say it's a joke. And you could see on his face, he just dismissed the idea of 8647. That was nothing. These people, I don't understand these people. They do stuff, and when they get caught, they always be like, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. My thing is, the first one got thrown out. I'm pretty sure they're not going to make the same mistake again. Let this one go through. Let's see what they're going to charge him with. I hope it sticks because this guy needs to pay for all his confusion that he made when he was FBI director. And even after, you could see that he still had the hatred for Trump trying to go after him.
In that role because she was not Senate confirmed. So his case got thrown out. Letitia James, the the Attorney General, in the state of New York, her case was thrown out related to alleged mortgage fraud, also in the Eastern District of Virginia because of the Lindsay Halligan issue. But it appears that DOJ has gone back for a second crack. It appears that, and they have gotten an indictment, and this comes under the leadership of Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, who's been on the job in that position since former Attorney General Pam Bondi was fired several weeks ago. So certainly an update that maybe we weren't expecting today, but the former FBI Director James Comey indicted for a second time. This has been this is related, I should say, to that shell formation 8647. And I will just end on this before if you have any questions. This is done by a jury of his peers, a grand jury of his peers, that they believe they had enough evidence to go forward with an indictment, which I think is an important point.
And that's the thing. Everybody is saying that there is nothing. The indictment was brought forward, just like the other one. Yeah, there was some issue with it as far as the person handling the case. But the juries of his peers still see that there is enough to call for an indictment. So to just say oh man, just wash it off, there's nothing there. They think that there is something there. Now, the case moving forward is another piece as far as litigation.
All right, so we haven't seen the indictment yet. 86 is a widely used phrase to get rid of something. It's sometimes interpreted as to off somebody, 86, that person. What are we looking at here? Potential charge of making threats against the president?
It's potential that's what we may see. And, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that this comes at a time when the president and first lady are calling for the firing of Jimmy Kimmel for the rhetoric. We saw what happened, John.
That's the thing, so I'm pretty sure they brought this back up because the left needs to get under control. And I think that you do need the First Amendment as far as freedom of speech. But at the same time, if you look at it, those people are saying very incendiary stuff. They're calling for violence, 3 attacks on the president so far as trying to get him assassinated. And to just tout things, put it in the stratosphere like that, I don't know. I think I expect better from those people, those leaders. I mean, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. We all heard that before. So my take is Comey, he should definitely pay. I hope this one sticks and it doesn't come out. And these people start being held accountable for the crap they do on a daily basis. So let me know what you think inside the comments. All right, motivators, if you enjoy what you've seen and heard, please like, comment, share, but most importantly, subscribe to A Black Veteran's Perspective. Stay motivated.